Remember, a gift you bake is a gift from the heart. They'll love you so much more for it. Betty Crocker. In 1921, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Washburn Crosby Company, later General Mills, responded to puzzle contestant cooking and baking questions by creating Betty Crocker, an advertisement that would answer them. Throughout the years, General Mills, Betty Crocker worked triumphantly to create cooking conveniences for people during the Great Depression, World War II, and later times. Betty Crocker has changed baking forever and will be remembered for the cooking advice and triumphs General Mills had accomplished. Betty Crocker was all started when there was a puzzle contest in the Saturday Evening Post for a pincushion. Maybe it wasn't the most glamorous prize, but 30,000 contestants sent letters back to Washburn Crosby Company. There's a catch, though. Many of the letters included a postscript asking lots of baking-related questions. Normally, the company handled consumer mail in a small in-house advertising department. The all-mail department would gather information from the all-female home service staff department that forwarded the information on to consumer. The department manager, Samuel Gale, never felt comfortable signing his own name to the letters. Women wanted advice from other women, and not a man, because men didn't know their way around the kitchen. This is when Samuel Gale created a fictional female that can sign letters on behalf of everyone at the company. After their idea got approved by Washburn Crosby Company, they held a contest to find the signature of Betty Crocker. The winner of the contest was Florence Lindenberg. Her signature is still used on Betty Crocker products today. Betty Crocker's name was decided because Betty was an American cheerful name, and Crocker after William G. Crocker, a retired director of Washburn Crosby Company. In 1924, Washburn Crosby Company thought Betty would be a great success on the radio, so Washburn bought a local Minneapolis station and named it WCCO. Marjorie Child Husted was the first host and writer of the show. Every morning at 10:45, you could tune in to listen to Betty Crocker's advice through the radio. The show was called Betty Crocker, the Cooking School of the Air, and many Americans tuned in to find new recipes and baking tips. Betty inspired many women everywhere to branch out and try new recipes. This show was so popular that NBC picked it up and aired it nationwide. This is when things got interesting for Washburn Crosby Company. Betty Crocker became very well known through her great advice and character. After she was created, all letters regarding baking or cooking received by Washburn Crosby Company were sent back signed by Betty Crocker. During the Great Depression, she gave low-cost recipes that made her food budget last. She also gave women many relief staples to help them out in a low budget. During World War II, Betty suggested recipes for rationing and inspired people to do patriotic work at home. Crocker made a cookbook on how to ration well, and it gave women tips on food buying, preparation, meal planning, and serving. At the opening of this book, Crocker said, "We offer this little book with its daily helps for wartime, mealtime, planning, and cooking. We salute you all. Betty Crocker." Crocker also came out with just add water cake mixes that were easy to make and were low cost. These definitely were an achievement for the time. Easy to use, make great cakes, perfectly good product. Weaver Trevor reviewing the cake mixes. "I love Betty Crocker mixes. Every time I make them and take them somewhere, everyone wants the recipe." Mary Fizesco reviewing the cake mixes. Crocker came out with the picture cookbook in 1950 that was an instant bestseller that rivaled the actual Bible on the best-selling list. This was a revolutionary picture cookbook that was basic enough for beginners. This cookbook didn't just feature cooking, but baking as well. The cookbook featured a section on how to put the joy into cooking. This provides women ideas on how to make cooking a more enjoyable task to do. M. Hagberg stated, "I love the picture pages that show exactly how something should be done," when reviewing the cookbook. Something Betty Crocker has been doing for a long time is testing recipes. She does this in kitchens known as the Betty Crocker kitchens. She started these kitchens in 1946. The kitchens were remodeled in 2003, giving workers more than 7,000 square feet of kitchen space, with 19 fully equipped individual kitchens, designed for over 50,000 recipe tests each year. There are 7 kitchens here, each one representing somewhere in America: the Arizona Desert, California, Cape Cod, Chinatown, Hawaii, Pennsylvania, Dutch, and Williamsburg. Since 1921, Betty Crocker has been an inspiration to many and has impacted how baking is today. Her personality and helpfulness won the hearts of many Americans. She found a way to make baking fun and easy through her recipes and boxed cake mixes. Her radio show made it easy to follow instructions to her recipes while listening to her speak and give helpful tips on how to make it easier. Through rough times like the Great Depression and World War II, Betty was still on the mind of many Americans because she taught Americans how to make great meals on a budget. She also helped Americans with the food shortages and taught them how to make the most of their food. Betty Crocker continues to create easy just-add water mixes and cookbooks for any type of chef. Betty Crocker's recipes are go-tos for many families across America. Crocker is synonymous to helpful in many American minds. Betty Crocker has always served and supported families in a way that was progressive for its time. Zeus Jones, explaining how Betty Crocker helped the modern family. Betty Crocker was the best in the kitchen then and is the best in the kitchen now. Betty Crocker, a triumph in cooking conveniences and advertisement.
icing